Hi everyone, this is Lori Whitlock. Welcome to the YouTube channel today. I am going to introduce you to this brand new Christmas tree scene pop-up card that I have designed for icrafter. Look for it at your local scrapbook store or your favorite online retailer. This is an adorable die. Comes with all the pieces to make this gorgeous card. Beautiful tree on the front. Gorgeous pop-up scene inside. It's got the pop-up mechanism. It's got the letters joy. It's got a cute tree and a cute little tinsel strand to add to the tree. It's got a bow and box designs, and it's so much fun to work with. So let's get started putting this together. So the first thing you'll want to do is prepare your card base, which is a 5.5 by 8.5, which is half of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, cut in half. So actually cardstock, you probably wouldn't want to do it out of plain paper. But you'll want to score that down the middle and fold that in half to create your card base. Then you're going to take an insert sheet that's going to be cut slightly smaller, so 1/8 of an inch smaller, to cut the pop-out mechanism on. This is what it'll look like after you've cut the pop-out mechanism, but we need to cut the cardstock down to the correct size, which is 1/8 of an inch smaller all the way around from the card base. And then we're going to score. I'm not going to actually draw the line all the way across, but I'm going to draw a line right in here on the two sides so we can line up our die to create this pop-up effect. So let's go ahead and get our paper cutter. And we're going to cut the card base is 5.5 wide, so we're going to take off 1/4 inch in that direction. So 5.5, we're going to go 5.25 wide. So 5 1/4. Go ahead and cut that. And then this is 8.5, so we're going to go 8 1/4. So 8.5 this direction, we'll go 8 1/4, taking off just 1/4 inch here. And that takes off an 1/8 of an inch all the way around on our card. Oh, the other thing I need to do while we're here is I need to score, or not score, but just mark for, let's just make sure we get the right distance here. We're going to go, make sure you do half. So if it's 8 1/4, we're going to go to 4 1/8, right here, 4 1/8. So I'm just going to mark 4 1/8 here and here, and I'm actually going to draw a little bit of a line on each side, something like that. I just want to be able to match up my die edge to those lines. So now we'll get our big shot and cutting pads, and let's move that paper out of the way. We'll go ahead, clean off those cutting pads from the last cuts. Go ahead and put that down with our cardstock. And we'll grab our pop-up mechanism die here. And the top of the card is going to be up here where these cuts are. So let's go ahead and just line those up. See the two little peaks on the side? We're just lining those up with the line that we drew. And then we want to center the die in the space. And you could do this on, just note, on a 5x7 card as well. It would not have to be an A2 size. It could be a 5x7 sized card. Okay, and now that we're done cutting that, we'll go ahead and move our machines out of the way, all of our extra pieces. And we'll take that die off, and you can see what it's cut for us. So at this point, you could go ahead and erase those extra lines because we don't need those anymore. Actually, we're going to score on those two sections right now, but I can still see them well enough. So to get our score line, I'm going to take the cutting board here and just line up those lines right in the middle, and then take my bone folder and just score the line here and here, right in the groove of my cutter. That's how I like to do it. And now we're going to start folding our card. So the card is going to fold in half right here at this section on the two sides and in the middle. But the boxes are going to pop forward, so we want to push those to pop forward here and here. And then at the other side, we're going to push them down as well. And then we want to train that score line here to go the other direction. So at this point, I like to just carefully fold everything in half and getting those two boxes to go all the way up. And my bone folder here, I'll just get those creases burnished in really well. And then these ones in here, I'm just going to reach inside my card or even through the card and just get everything to lay down nice and flat. So there you go. That's the basic pop-up mechanism of this card, which, by the way, you could use for a lot of other things besides this Christmas scene. You could use it to pop up and hold different characters or different scenes that you want to build with different dies that you may already have. So it's a wonderful pop-up die with a couple of different levels of backings. So at this point, we can go ahead and glue our card insert, our pop-up insert, into our card base. So let's just take, let's use some tape runner. You just want to make sure you avoid getting any tape on these cut sections, but you want to get a nice coating of the tape everywhere else. And we'll just take that crease and line it up in the middle and then center everything side to side. So we have 1/8 of an inch on either side. And go ahead and close that card. Then you want to do the same thing with this other side over here. Looks like my tape runner has run out, so we'll finish up with some liquid adhesive on this side. And then we'll go ahead and close that. And that gives us our card base. Look how cute that is. Okay, and at this point, you just take all those other cute pieces that we have provided in the file and cut them out. And to get the little tiny present up on the front here, included in the file is this little piece right here. And you might want to cut that out of just a pattern paper or something to make a cute little box. This one's cut out of white, but in our sample here, we've cut that out of a cute pattern cardstock. I'll turn that where you can see it. But to put this together, you just fold on all those score lines and just glue on that one glue tab there. And we'll go ahead and set that aside for a minute so it can dry. That will become our little package that sits on the front of our card. So basically you can just layer that on top. So if you were creating a different type of card that wasn't this scene, you could use that as well for another little level or layer for your pop-up. So that is this piece here on the die. To get the two packages, you will need to recut this die and get those package pieces from this again. So we've done that here. We've got, for instance, this package front and this package front. And you can also cut those package tops, or You could even leave them just scored like we did on this example here from the die. So you would just cut this die and then just cut it off here, and you'd have this nice scored piece that will fit right over your package on the left, and the same thing for the package on the right. Or you can just cut those package fronts as well. That looks cute as well. And then go ahead and glue your tree in. Now just note, when you close this tree, you need to glue this all the way to the bottom so that when you close it, the tree doesn't stick out too far. It sticks out a tiny bit, like a little 1/16 of an inch. If that bothers you at all on an A2 size, you could just trim off the bottom of the tree a little bit. That would still look darling, no problem at all. If you put this in a 5x7 card, it's going to be a nice sized tree and you won't need to trim it off at all. But that's a trick. If you want to trim that off just a little bit, you certainly can, but it'll still fit in an A2 envelope like this as is. So you've got cute little pieces to decorate the tree with. Just go ahead and glue those on and trim them off wherever you would like to trim them off. And so I just cut a couple of those, and I cut these out of a glitter cardstock because I think that looks really pretty. And for the little, let's see, for the little present, you can just glue that in front of the tree after you're done, like we've done in our sample here. And inside the file, we also have these strips right here for little ribbon strips that you can add to the presents if you'd like. You don't have to if you don't want to, but you certainly may. But we've got little bows you could add to the presents, and a cute star to add to the top of the tree as well. That's located here inside the die. So you can go to town embellishing this card however you'd like, but that basically gives you the method for putting this together. And on the front of the card, we just did a repeat of the tree decorated with some tinsel and a star for the front. And so cute when you open it up, it just pops up. So I hope you enjoy this. Oh, also on the joy, we have cut this 2 times, once out of red and once out of glitter cardstock, so that you can make that pop a little bit. You could also use that on the front of the card if you'd prefer. So I hope you have fun with this adorable little Christmas scene pop-up card. I hope you have fun making Christmas cards with it this year, and I hope you have a wonderful day. See you all in another video. Bye-bye.